on it. There we go. What's up? Where you guys been? I've been holding these meetings out here and turn on Zoom and nobody's there. Where you guys been? Jeez.
Jackie?
You've been right there, right, Art?
Jackie, you want to get us going?
Soaking up some downtime, Coach. First off, Coach, you said last week that you guys are going to be evaluating everything. Can you explain what that process entails?
Yeah, well, we take a big deep dive into the stats and the numbers, and not necessarily the stats that are on the stat sheet, but this is all about how many times we've called plays and defenses and pressures and coverages and situations, and there's a number of ways we look at all that stuff. And so we go by and start what we would normally do in the off season, in a quicker version. We had 5 games to do it, so we can get through it. And that's to make sure that we know what it looks like we're doing, and the messages and the signals we sent to our opponents, to figure out what do we want to do about that. So it starts there with really the analytics really start with the numbers, and then we go from there. Then that takes us back to the film, takes us back to looking at, once we know what we've done numbers-wise, and we keep up on it, so it's not that big a difference from what we do from week to week, but it is our chance to kind of total it all, and so we do all that stuff and then figure out what we want to adjust and change, and there's a big assessment of every individual, and to know how they're making their progress, making sure that we're up on what's going on. Sometimes until you go back and you take a look at guys individually, you don't. You're not quite sure, or you see things you might not have seen before. For the most part, I go back again that we know what's going on, but this just gives us a really focused opportunity. So it's all about what do we want to do with the next step that we take. So there's a million things that we're looking at, but that's basically kind of how we go about it.
In terms of assessing players, was there anything in particular that stood out to you?
Yeah. And the last thing I want to do is let you know what I think about all that. Sorry.
Fair enough.
Bob?
Yeah, Pete, last time we talked to you, you talked about the bye week and just how critical it would be to get through it and things like that. It sort of looks like you guys made it through pretty well, but just how do you like that?
Yeah, first off, we tested all week long, and we stayed on the regimen of daily testing, and all of that worked out, just exactly like we would have hoped. That means that everybody continued to do right and take care of their off the field, family issues, whatever, where they live and how they take care of themselves. Everybody did a great job, coaches and administration as well as the players. All of that worked out great. Now we won't really know the results of this week till we get to the end of this week, as there's a lag time there, but everybody really is tuned in, and that discipline that it takes to continue to do that is what's going to carry us through as long as we can stay diligent about it, as we keep talking about. And so and things have changed too. Rules have changed from the league. They're focusing on some things a little differently now, and as they continue to grow and understand, they pass it on to us, and so we're learning as we go, and have to be flexible and open-minded and really have a good attitude about it to make the most of this.
And we saw DJ Reed is back today.
Yeah.
What specific position or role do you kind of see him?
Well, he's played free safety, corner, and nickel, and so we're going to utilize that background to figure out where it fits best for us, and so we took a look at him at a couple spots today. We'll just wait and see, please.
John?
Yeah, speaking of your secondary, between injuries and then the game that Quandre got ejected, you haven't got a long look at kind of your starting group so far. Just whenever that is, that everybody's back, how eager are you to see those guys all together?
Yeah, we really are encouraged by our guys' play and by their backgrounds and stuff. We haven't really had a chance to really mix them with any consistency at all and see how it fits together. That's going to come probably next couple of weeks. We'll have a better feel for that. But it's something I'm excited about, John, because all the guys are playmakers, and we have a new level of awareness that's fun to see. And so I'm anxious to see it all come together. And it's a long season. We got plenty of chances.
And to follow up on that, whenever Jamal is back, has Ryan kind of showed that he deserves to find a way on the field one way or another, Ryan Neal?
He's played well enough to play with the starters, yeah, and so we're really pleased about that. That only makes us stronger, and is a great statement about how he's taking advantage of the opportunity. So that just makes us better. It gives us flexibility on some certain things.
Greg?
Pete, what are the chances that Jamal Adams plays this week?
I don't know what you want me to give numbers.
Well, I mean, obviously you held him out of the Minnesota game with the expectation he could come back after the bye. Is he still on track for that?
We got to get through the week, see what happens. Give him these days and figure it out. Take full advantage of the time and make sure that we're doing the right thing and taking care of him and looking after him. It's a long season again, and we'd love to have him back as soon as we can get him, but we want him back when he's right and back for the long haul.
When he's been out the last couple games, Pete, what have you learned about the defense and how you might play when he returns?
Well, he's a very unique player, and he offers unique stuff, and unique play, and kind of the savvy that he enters is he's kind of got a style of his own. So that you noticed how we played to him some early. So he gives us all kinds of things that we can do. When he gets back, we've developed another player in Ryan Neal, and that's a really good thing. And we'll see how it fits. But I don't have much to tell you about what we're going to do differently or how we're going to use it. We'll just wait and see on that one. But we'll be really excited when we get everybody back out there together. I have no idea what question you asked.
That's good enough. Thanks.
All right, good.
Art?
After your self-scouting, Pete, how far do you think the defense has to go that by week 17 they could be NFL average?
Well, we'll see. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know. It depends on how everybody else does. There's a lot of big numbers being thrown around out there. We'll see. We're going to continue to get better now. There's no question. Last couple of weeks have been better, and we need to just keep working to put it together and find the consistency that really can give us something unique to add to what we're doing on the other side of the ball.
Are there specific goals that you have in mind for the units on defense?
Yeah, there are some things that we're pointing at, and that's not changed over the years. We have some things we're trying to get in line with, and we're not quite there yet in some areas.
Okay.
Brady?
Hi, Pete. If I understand the rules correctly, I believe that the guys on NFI and PUP are eligible to begin practicing this week. Will that happen with Rashad, Colby, or Darrell Taylor?
Today in practice, DJ Reed was out there and Colby Parkinson was out there. So we're bringing them back. We're bringing these guys back as they're able and ready. So those guys are on the field today. The other guys aren't.
Okay. And do you have an idea of when that might be able to happen with Rashad and Darrell?
We're not able to tell you or to say, right now. I might tell you guys. I wouldn't really tell you right now, but it's not clear yet. So they're still on a good arc here to get them back, and we're going to make sure again that we've waited this long. We're going to make sure that these guys come back, and there's no question about their return.
Thanks.
Sure.
Michael Sean?
Staying with some of the injured guys, how are Rasheem and Phillip doing?
Phillip was really excited about how hard he was able to go today. Rasheem is getting really close too. He's just finishing off, getting all his strength evened out and balanced up, and he's running and working out hard. He's in good shape right now, so he's not far away either.
One more, Leno.
Leno's got some issues with his back that haven't really turned in the right direction. So we're looking after him right now. He's not ready to come back yet.
Thanks.
You guys got me on this whole vague thing, all this gray area. Can't tell you. What do you want to do with your offense? What are you doing on second and short? I can't tell you stuff. So it's a bad interview today. Sorry. I'm doing the best I can with the questions you're asking. Jen, can you kind of pull us in the right direction here? Can I call in Jen? She didn't want to ask a question, so now you just have to do it like I got to do. Yeah, go.
Okay. Well then, without Leno, if you know that Leno isn't going to be there, how does that affect how you would continue to prepare and what we've seen in the secondary?
Well, because of really the emergence of D. Randall, along with Ryan, those guys have both already been on the field and shown us that they can play. So we're able to withstand it at this point, and I hope that we'll get to see more of Randall as we're going forward. He's a good ball player, and he's been around us now enough as he's starting to dig in. So I'm excited about what he can add. So fortunately, we were able to kind of come up with a couple guys that can help us with Leno not being available.
Thanks.
Jessamine.
We're back on track now.
I hope I don't derail us, Coach. Just considering how different this bye week is, considering the season, guys can't go anywhere. They have to go in for daily testing. Is there any way it benefit your team, and if so, how?
Oh, I'm sorry. Say that again at the end. Is there any way?
Is there a way it can benefit your team?
Yeah, no. This is really, I talked to the guys today about this. This was probably the most productive bye we've had because everybody was here and they all, without having a lot of things that they could do on their own time, they spent a lot of time in here working out and taking care of themselves, getting the best treatment possible. And so it just seemed more connected than normal. I'm telling you, I don't remember going on the practice field after a bye with the guys all fired up like they were today. We're just out there, it's a regular bonus Monday for us to get back in action, start moving around. And they're all out there standing in line ready for stretching them out about over 5 minutes early. I don't know what the heck they were all fired up about, but they were jacked and ready to go. So they're kind of chomping at the bit to get back at it. And I think and it was also the first time that all the guys kind of got in the same area, same place, and they just were kind of feeding off of one another. So it was a really good feeling today. And we didn't execute as well as we needed to at practice, and that's why you have this practice. So the first day back isn't in the middle of the game week and all that. And so, but it was a very, very good response to coming out of this thing. We are healthier and they feel better physically, and that was expressed today.
Thanks, Coach.
Joe.
Pete might not be able to answer this one either, but worth trying regardless. Just curious if there's concern.
We'll be the judge of that. Joe will be the judge of that, okay?
If there's concern that Darrell Taylor might not be able to make it back this year.
Really, Joe, I've watched him run. I was out there with him a couple times this week. He looks like he's running hard and fast and pushing it. He's really strong right now. I don't, anything could happen from this point forward, but he's working really hard, and there's the docs are taking really good care of him and making sure we don't force the issue too soon. But just judging from what I'm seeing, he looks like he's made great progress. He's not like he's waiting to start getting in shape and all that. He's fit and strong. He hasn't done as much change of direction stuff that's really hard on him at this point, but he's really running hard and it looks good. So I don't think that's going to be so really, Joe, that really wasn't a bad question. As much as everybody was anticipating that, sometimes guys just come through.
Curtis,
I'm having more fun than you guys.
Yeah, Pete, with Colby getting back out there for you today, what are you looking forward to seeing from him? We haven't asked you about him forever because he hasn't been able to be out there, but how are you have him out there, and where do you kind of expect him to fit into this?
Well, really, I took a good look at him watching him on the field today for the first time. He caught early in practice. He caught a flat route for about a gain of 2 and turned up and ran into the end zone just because he was so fired up to run. All the tight ends went down to go meet him in the end zone to just jump all around him and have some fun with him. So we're all looking forward to him being back out there. He's benefited enormously from the off-season program that he's been in. He looks stronger. He's more fit. He's just he's pumped up. He's over 6'7", so he looks huge out there. So he had a good first day. He had a really good first day. We'll just see what happens. See where it fits into the mix as we go. He's a really smart kid that's been studying like crazy, and I don't think it'll take him long to know his assignments and all that. But technique-wise and technically, he's going to have to show that he's come a long ways before we can figure if he can help us or not. But a real positive sign for today, and he was really excited. I came off the field with him, and he was just on cloud 9 to be back out playing football with his buddies. So pretty good. Good day.
AJ?
Coach, I know you've run through like almost the entire defense, but I'm going to throw one more person at you.
No way.
How has Snacks come along? I mean, I know you guys wanted to get him in as soon as possible. It seemed like he was sort of on the cusp there against the Vikings. How has the bye week benefited getting him up to speed with the system, and could we see him this week?
Yeah, I'd like to really hold off on that one, AJ, until we get through this week, because this will be the first week he can really go, and got a new number and all that. It looks good, he looks svelte, and so I'm excited just to get him out there and get him in the mix. We really haven't had a great look. We'll have a good padded practice this week that'll help, and we'll see how he's doing. But I'm excited. He's a great guy, and I hope that he can help us out and be part of it.
I'm sorry, you said he looks what?
Svelte.
Okay, that's what I thought you said.
Yeah, that's with the SV. Scrabble word.
Ben?
None of you have ever used the word svelte in Scrabble, I would venture to guess. Not one time.
Nobody's ever used svelte in Snacks Harrison either.
That's for sure.
Pete, how is Carlos Hyde doing? I saw that he was still in the non-contact red jersey. How's his injury, and
He's much improved. I talked to him today on the way out. He feels good. We're just trying to get through the end of this week and see if he can come out and play football for us. He's really close, and like I've been telling you, he's ready, physically running around and all that. It's just whether it's time to pound on him or not. So we'll see. I can't tell you that till we really get past Friday, and Thursday will be a big day for him.
Masvita?
Yep. Hey,
what would we talk about? What would we talk about if we didn't have injuries? What would we talk about? Come on, Art. No, look, Masvita got it. He's got one.
Yeah, I do.
Yes, there you go.
If you allow me to assert that communication is key to success, when you evaluated and looked at it, how would you rate your messaging and your communication with the team? Do you use the 5-0, no COVID-19 test? How would you rate your communication and messaging with the team this bye week?
What I would say is that we're pleased to be where we are, and we've had to fight our tails off to get here with the games that we played and all. I'm really glad those games have happened. And we've endured them and learned from them. I hope we're going to carry those games long into the season about reason to believe and keep the hope alive and all that stuff. So there's a lot of positives to take out of what's already happened. It's been full of really rich experiences in terms of competing and hanging together and playing for one another and all that kind of stuff. And I said to you guys, really coming out of the Zoom season, that it seemed like we had come a long ways for not being in the same location, and we had just grown as a team. Because as soon as we came back, it just felt like these guys have been together a long time and all. So it's an unusual year that I can't really put my finger on why it's like it is, but I know for us, we've made a lot of progress, and we've come a long ways together in this short time. And so the fact that we've done that is really good. But that's already been done. We've already accomplished that. And so it's what are we going to do now that counts? And we'll see how we do moving forward. But I like the foundation, and I really like the level of communication on this team. And I like the way that the younger players hold the experienced players and the leadership in regard, where there's a good level of exchange that's I think the older guys are being really helpful for the younger guys. And so we're just building and we keep going, and it's a one-game season. We got to get 1-0 this week, and away we go to the next week. And it's been really exciting and fun and all that, and hopefully we can keep rolling.
Last question, Art?
Pete, last December, you guys had probably your worst game of the season in Arizona. Carson went out, Procise went out, Dwayne Brown was out, and you guys completed only 3 passes to wideouts that game, which is really amazing compared to what you're doing now. Did anything come out of that game that in the offseason changed your offensive approach, or was it just a one-off due to injuries?
Yeah, turned it all around on that day. That was it. That was the pivotal game. No, you recited some of the stats that I tried to forget, but no, that game didn't really. Isn't one that stands out at all. And because of whatever happened before, it really has no bearing on what's going to happen now. So I don't take much out of it. I am pleased with the way we've been moving the ball around and all that. We got to continue to hammer the football line of scrimmage and to make sure that the balance is there as we're going to need it through the stretch of the schedule coming up. But that really, I don't look back at stuff in that regard and give it much weight. Sorry. That was a good question, other than injuries, though. Other than it was all based on injuries, so.
You missed talking to us, right?
Sure. Matter of fact, yeah. You guys want to hang out a little longer? I got all day.
Can't carry the load, fire guys.
By the way, in case it is 15 days to the election here, so everybody has a chance to get out there and vote. We took a showing of hands today, and we're working it. We're working it here. We're not quite complete. The process is challenging. If you haven't done it yet, Greg, if you need any help, give me a call. Okay, I can help you out with some stuff. But I was able to get my vote out and done last night, so I'm feeling pretty cocky about it. To tell you the truth, I made it through the whole process. So, but let's all do it. Send out the word. You guys are messengers of for our future here. If you want to be. Jen, you could write about that. Yeah, you could.
About that, Pete, is it trouble with out-of-state guys and absentee balloting, or there has not been an issue in that?
Everybody has already made the preparations to take care of that. I can't tell you that everybody has received everything they need at this point, but I know that well back when we started in the process, everybody went to work on it to figure out what they had to do to get organized to vote and in their local areas and stuff. So. But like always, there'll be a little bit of a scramble. But we were on it today. We're trying to make sure our guys are staying ahead of it and all.
Thanks, everyone.
See you.
See you Wednesday.